Alright. I put 2 ounces of tequila in this. But it tastes great. Gotta make most with what you got. I like to put a lot of lime in mine, though. At least, I guess, when you say you used to be an alcoholic, I mean, that's something that, like, I don't guess you ever stopped being an alcoholic. Which is, I used to do things that I shouldn't have a lot. I wouldn't say I'm in recovery. I would say that I am not in recovery because I am sober, but that doesn't mean anything in the long run. It doesn't keep me from wanting to do things. I very much so want to. I just don't have the means to. That's the difference. Anyways, orbitals will fuck you up. Like, I already got the numb lip filling on my lips. So, this drink is gonna fuck me up. Cheers. I would use a coaster, but my TV's on them. I don't know, I wasn't feeling very good about myself right now, so drinking seems like a good idea. Probably not. But again, I used to drink a 6-pack every day. Yes, I had a drinking problem. And no, I would not get that fucked up off of it. I would go to the bar. I would drink like nonstop, like pitchers of fucking beer. And then we get to a point where it'd be like, you didn't want to drink pitchers of beer anymore. You wanted to start taking shots. And I used to do hot damn all the time. Like, mid-20s, later 20s. I'd be at the bar, and I convinced my mom to come to the bar one time, and I was plastered. I was wasted. I'm not a bad drunk. My sister's a terrible drunk. She will fight people, and she will kiss strangers. I'm the kind of person, I'm not a terrible drunk. It just makes me very sociable, and then, if I drink too much, obviously, I'm not in my 20s anymore, so it's not the same. The effects will be felt. But I couldn't imagine drinking the amount that I used to drink a long time ago. I would come home from work and just drink until I went to sleep. My ex was an asshole. And my mom laughed at me one time because I was so pissed off. It was like our 1-year anniversary. And his friends was having a party or some shit. I was like, there's no fucking way that you're not going over to your friend's house. You're sitting here telling me that your truck is fucking not working. But yet, your friend is having a party. You told me about your friend having a party. And you're not here. And I'm at your fucking trailer house. Like, mind you, there's a whole backstory to this. I don't know, maybe one day I'll make a video about it, but there was a whole backstory to that. And, so I said, fuck it. I went and had my friend, my good friend, I called him, because I didn't have a car, my car was fucked up. And, I was like, will you come pick me up? I'm here by myself, and this fucker is, like, off doing whatever the fuck he's doing. So he was like, yeah. And, he picked me up, and I said, I want to go to the bar. And so we used to go to this bar. I liked the bar. Now, it was funny because, like, the bar, like, was notorious, like, full of cowboys. And so you had cowboy music and rap, because for some reason those two things go together, like, all the time. I don't know why. It's cowboy music and rap. in Texas at least, and in my part of the woods. Let me clarify. And so I was so pissed, and I had plans to stay over at his house, and I got in that house, by the way. Anyways, I told my friend, let's go to the bar. And at that point in time, my girlfriend, not my girlfriend, but you know what I mean. She lived in the same city at that point in time. So I would always try to get her to come out of the house because my way of getting out of the house was to go and get fucking drunk. And I would bother her. I'd be like, come up to the bar, come up to the bar. I've got some video footage that my friend took of us that night, and we were just so wasted, and we were just being so stupid, and it was funny as hell. It's still funny to watch it to this day. But my mom, she was like, when I come home, she was like, I thought you were staying at his house. I was like, no, man. I explained the situation. She just started laughing. She was like, I don't know anybody else. It'd just be like, fuck you, and then just go to the bar and go drink and be like, I'm going to go do whatever the fuck I want to. It's my 1 year anniversary, and I'm going to fucking party. So you wanted to go party with your friends? I'm going to party with my friends, so fuck you. That's how it was. That dude, I was with him, and I can't believe this. I was with this guy for like 2 years. I was with him for like 2 years. And most of that, I don't even fucking remember. Because not only was he in jail for like probably half of that time, I legit just don't really fucking remember. And it's probably because I was drinking so much. I had a lot of shit going on at that point in time, too. See what happens when you get a few drinks in me. I say a few, but I've put a hell of a lot of liquor in my drinks. Yeah. It was fun. I never had bad experiences with alcohol. Now, I couldn't say that for the other, and I can't talk about that because that's against policy for most platforms. Unless it's in an educational setting, which I don't believe that I'm in a position to be an educational figure. But to say the least, alcohol was the lesser evil. The other stuff was much worse. And it only happened during the worst part of my life. I can't say that there's not going to be worse parts of my life. I can't see that there's not going to be worse parts of my life. And if I ever had the ability to do what I want to do, in many aspects, then it would be a very dangerous thing. My best friend. Okay, here's a funny story about my best friend. Nobody cares, and I don't care. And nobody cares, but I care. Anyways, so my best friend is funny because when we went to high school together, and I was a bully. I really was. Like, but it was just my thing. It was like a hazing ritual, and I remember one of my best friend in high school, I remember, he had said to anybody else who was trying to be within my circle that there was a ritual, basically, that you had to go through, which was you got hazed, and then you would be my friend. And the way that you knew that you were a good friend was if I introduced you to my sister. Because my sister is like top of the leaderboard. And so when we were in high school, me and my best friend now did not like each other. Well, he may have liked me, but I did not like him. And I was the mean girl. Like, you can't sit at my table. What the fuck are you doing here? Kind of business. I was mean. I was very selective, too. And my ex-husband also was in high school with me. This is story time. And my ex-husband was friends with my best friend now. And I did not like him. He had poor hygiene. I'm sorry, Ricardo. I'm telling this story. He had poor hygiene, and he was just overall a dork. And I was very much not into the dork scene. I was very much an asshole, and I did things that I should not have done. But he was friends with my ex-husband, so therefore he introduced himself into my life. And when during the time that I was with my ex-husband, so I was married less time than I was with my ex-husband, so I wasn't married for very long, but I was with the guy for a very long time. And so during that time, me and my best friend now had a lot of he became my best friend over the time. And when me and my ex-husband split, my friends left me. They pretty much went towards my ex-husband's side, and there's a lot that's tied in with my uncle, which again, another story time for another time. But my uncle was a fucking prick, and fuck that guy. He's part of the reason why my divorce went through anyways. And he stayed around forever, and it's just whatever. And so everybody left. My best friends that I had left because my uncle was telling them shit about me that was not true. And me and my ex-husband, dude, if we had stayed together, one of us would have been dead. I have no doubt about it. What's funny is that every time he gets divorced from his next wife, he enters my DMs. Anyways, so my best friend now, he had a decision that he made, which was to continue to be my ex-husband's friend or to continue to be my friend. And he chose to be my friend. And he says he doesn't regret it. And I'm so glad, because I have been friends with him for more than half my life now. And you couldn't ask for a better friend. You couldn't ask for a better friend. He's been through it all with me. He knows everything about me, the good and the bad. He's seen the good and the bad. And nothing that I do can faze him. And it's the weirdest fucking thing. And I've never seen him mad. The only time that I ever saw him mad was, we went, this was one of the years, okay, so this last summer, I don't know who's watching it, I see that there's 3 people, so I assume there's 3 people listening to this story, but this last summer was very wet, and, so there was another summer that was just like this last summer. It was very wet. There was our regular lake that we went to, did not open, and then there was a tornado, and so for the majority of the summer it was closed. So we had a year that was like that previously, and we ended up going to all these different locations around Texas. And I always get it mixed up. I don't think it was Whitney. It was some lake, and we ended up going to the spot, and it is not like what the pictures look like. The camp spots look like you're about to fucking go to Cub Scouts or some shit. They were right next to each other, and we were like, fuck that. Our tent wouldn't even fit on the spot. So we drove around, because we're like, dude, it was hours away from where we lived. We drove around, and we ended up finding this spot, and it's like where an RV would normally be, but we have this huge ass tent. We never put up this tent before. We have several tents. But we decided we were going to put up this brand new tent that we had. Of course, when we got there, it was daylight. By the time we start putting this tent up, it's nighttime. And I had this little fucking saw. And the only spot that we could put our tent up had this one branch that was hanging over. We had no choice. We had to cut this branch down. And he starts trying to saw the fucking thing. Gets smacked in the face. I can't remember if it was with the branch or if it was with the saw. He can weigh on that when he sees me. But it pissed him off. I've never seen him mad like that. And I mean, his mad is like so tame. Like it was outwardly frustrated. And I'd never seen that before. But this dude is like the chillest dude you'll ever know. Like, he is the most grounded fucking dude that you would ever know. And I don't know anybody else in the world that would put up with the shit that I have put him through. And it's just like mind blowing. And it's just, it's tragic in some ways and it's hilarious in others. But he's a really good dude. He's been my best friend for a really long time. And it didn't start out that way. I met him, I probably knew him in middle school. And, because we grew up in a really small town. He was a dorky kid. He didn't have very many friends. He lived out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I kind of lived out in the middle of fucking nowhere, but he legit lived out in the middle of fucking nowhere. To the point that, like, he had to, the bus schedule thing. Yeah, it was the whole thing. Anyways, so he's my best friend, and he's the guy that you will hear get on, and sometimes you'll hear me talking to him during our games, because he's my best friend. He's the only friend that I really have. And I know people will be like, but that's your soulmate and everything. It's complicated. It's very complicated. I don't know what started that story, but that was the story of how I have my best friend that I have now. I don't have any other friends. I have him. That's it. I have online friends, which is why I'm really bummed out right now. Because my online friend was supposed to come on for the last 2 days, and she hasn't. And that makes me sad. And she lives in Michigan. And I live in Texas, so she's an hour ahead. And I have terrible sleeping habits. So she has not gotten on. She did not ask me anything either. I don't know if I can finish this drink. I will probably end up going to sleep. I put a lot of tequila in that. It's not how it used to be. Anyways, that's where that started from. I guess. Yeah. I used to be able to drink a lot, and I cannot imagine drinking the amount that I used to. Like, 2 of those drinks in my 20s would have been like fucking water. It would not have done a bit of different. It would not have done. Yeah. That. Anyways. That was a fun story time. He hated it. He was so pissed off when that happened though. It was kind of hilarious, and it's hilarious to think about it now, but at the time he was not having it. And that's the maddest I ever saw him. He does not have a temper at all. And I don't know anybody that's like that except for him. It was really weird. I don't know. Everybody that I've ever known in my life has always had some kind of temper. And I mean, probably to the extreme, which is why it's kind of abnormal for me to see somebody who's not like that, because I'm used to extreme violence. And that's not the case when it comes to him. He has a pretty good fucking head on his shoulders. I worry about him, though. Because his... And if you're listening, Richard, you probably are. I worry about you. Because he's never had a significant loss in his life, and his dad is not doing very good. He's an elderly man. And he's been in and out of the hospital. Which, if you were on my stream, you would have heard him immediately leave unannounced. Which really threw me off, and I got really worried because I instantly knew that it was probably going to be about his dad, and it was. So, yeah, I worry about that. I worry about that day because I know how that feels because that's been my life. My life has been nothing but a lot of loss. I've lost a lot of people in my life. which sucks. And I hope that that's not something that everybody has to go through. I hope that that's not something everybody has to go through. I hope that people have life like his, more than people that have had lives like me. I'd like to think that's the case. I'd like to think that I'm the exception. And as fucked up as that is, that's what I would hope. I wouldn't wish what I've had to go through on anybody. Anyways.